What's something you can't unsee once someone points it out? A dead pixel on a computer screen. The stormtrooper who bops his head in A New Hope. Some guy was in a bathroom stall at the movie theater while I was pissing at the urinal. I guess he didn't know I was there. He starts singing away to himself, to the tune of Hall & Oates, because your piss, is on my wrist, because your piss is on my wrist. When I turn out the lights, I burst out laughing. Now I can't hear that song for the rest of my life without singing that dude's alternate lyrics. In this case, more like unhear, breathing in songs. Once you start paying attention to it, you can't hear anything else. If you go to the movie theater, there's a little green laser dot on the screen that I think is used to line up the projector with the screen. It's really tiny, but once you notice it you won't stop looking at it. Edit, I am sorry. Cruise's middle tooth. Edit, ooh, shiny silver, thanks. Brie Larson translates to cheese theft. Bodybuilders look like a normal guy coming out of a muscular guy's neck. The Wilhelm scream in movies. The scream. Edit, I also realize this is a sound, not something you see. However, I can't watch someone fall off something in a movie and not expect that scream, so that's why I thought of it. I meet this guy that was a huge Conan the Barbarian fan, so he got a big Conan tattoo on his arm. He was not happy with it. I couldn't see it, but when he pointed it out, I could not unsee it. The tattoo artist did a bad job when shading, so it looked like Conan had one leg and a huge dick. Laughed my ass off when I saw it, and I feel sorry for the guy. Edit, wow, this got lots of attention. I wish I could share a photo, but I meet him while he was talking to my tattoo artist before my appointment at the tattoo shop, and I didn't want to be rude to him or the people working there, so unfortunately I have no picture of it. The face plates on outlets and light switch covers, if installed by a professional, will have the slots in the screws vertical and aligned. They call it squaring up. If they're not, either it was installed by an amateur or someone took it off to paint or something. Small mess-ups in movies, a boom microphone that made it into the shot, the shadow of the helicopter that the camera is on, a car in the background of a movie that takes place way before cars existed, etc. Some sort of unique facial, head feature of another person. Take ears for example. I was watching baseball the other day and my so pointed out the pitcher's ears seemed to stick straight out. For the rest of the game, all I noticed were his flapping wing ears. Someone's nervous tick during a presentation. Every single medication commercial is slightly slowed down. Just how many films made the past 15 years or so all use orange and teal as their default color scheme for scenes? In Batman Begins, when he headbutts Falcons, something white bounces away from between them. I have analyzed it to death. Is it a cotton ball? A ping pong ball? Cocaine? What is it? Also The Mole by Christian Bale's right eye. My mom said that these kiwis we bought looked like old man balls. I can never eat them again. Emergency exit signs in a cinema. Sorry. -4 degrees looks like a guy shooting poop out his ass. Edit, as per standard red etiquette, thanks for the silver kind stranger. Glad to hear I made people's day. Dr. Pepper is spelled without a period after doctor. Once you learn how to read, you can't stop. I'll add a couple. A woman's boobs and belly button looks like eyes and a surprised mouth. Welcome to my hell. People don't drive down the road constantly moving their steering wheel back and forth. Drives me crazy when I see it in movies, TV. Kerning. My kids still curse me for explaining kerning to them. Now every time they see a sign, they see bad letter spacing. The fake bird noises in golf coverage. They are all fake and constant. Nipples line up with the inside of your ears. The little "da" that Voldemort does at 1:12 in this video when invading Harry's mind in the Order of the Phoenix. The arrow in between the E and the X on the FedEx logo. Therapist equals the rapist. When I look at newer Toyota trucks with the TRD, Toyota Racing Development, I see the word turd. I can't help it. Edit, I love Toyotas and drive one myself, but if I got a newer truck, I would scrape off the TRD sticker. In Super Mario Bros. For the NES, the clouds are the same graphic as the bushes, just a different color. A lot of horror films use the dies array in the background of an ominous scene. It's usually intended for the Mass of the Dead. Source, learned about this in my film music class last term. Edit, technically my answer is here. Sorry. That coffee cups, particularly the styrofoam kind you'd get coffee to go in movies and television, are always empty, and because of that the actors flop and fling the damn things around so much they'd be getting coffee everywhere if there was actually coffee in them. It's so minor, but now that I know I notice it, and it's super annoying. Much in the same way it's annoying how guns can shoot like 50 bullets when they clearly have a magazine that tops holds maybe 10 bullets. When the sound of a movie is slightly off sync with the picture. And looks like a guy dragging his ass across the floor. The word bed kinda looks like a bed. The word boob looks like boobs from various POVs, B from the top, O from the front, and B from the side. Kim Possible's mouth looks like a mustache. Because Bruno Mars is so much shorter than Mark Ronson, in the Uptown Funk video they are never shown standing next to each other in the same frame. One is always sitting, leaning on a car. Pierce Brosnan's long mouth on the cover of the GoldenEye 007 game on N64. More of a taste thing. I enjoy Not Your Father's root beer. I think it tastes good. I used to think it tasted amazing until my wife tried a sip and said, I don't like the aftertaste. There is no aftertaste, weirdo. Sip, fuck. Now I taste a weird aftertaste. Not enough to make the drink bad, but it went from 9/10 to like 7/10. Edit. Gotta love complaining about having a product ruined or worsened, and now everyone is sharing their experiences, and I have to live in constant unending terror of all the things that will be ruined for me now. Thanks Reddit too, gave in and ran to the store and grabbed some A&W root beer, and it fucking tastes weird. Like a more minty Pepto-Bismol. Thank God I am a crazy person and like Pepto's taste, but it doesn't taste like root beer, and now I don't remember what root beer tasted like. My whole life has been a lie. I hate all of you for doing this. You are monsters. A small dent in your car, usually on the door. You can't spot it, but if someone mentions it, you can't unsee it. Colonel Sanders' bowtie looks like his stick figure body. Eyebrows. Back when Everyone Loves Raymond was popular, a friend of mine said that every episode was just Ray doing something stupid and then his wife would yell at him. I stopped watching it shortly after. Same thing happened with Home Improvement. The twat in Weight Watchers when they rebranded. Whenever the letters OGC get together and look like a man holding his penis. This is more of a once you hear it thing, but at the 6-minute mark of Right in 2 by Tool the guitar sounds like Timmy from South Park saying his name. Troy Aikman as Caucasian Jay-Z. The amount of times someone says, or, like, while speaking. It's hard not to count or focus on it, especially when the subject matter isn't very interesting. Shannon Doherty's eyes. They are not level. At all. Here's pictures. That Chris Pratt's name sounds like Chris Pratt. The word fridge has a D in it, but not the word refrigerator. That Sansa Stark really looks like Boy George. The Vans logo looks like the square root of the answer. I have said this one before, almost all vehicles on the road now are either black, white, gray, silver, or a shade of red. It hasn't always been like this. Look at the 50s and 90s. That's because nothing does exist outside that bubble. The Chicago Bulls logo upside down is a robot reading a book. The hand on the velociraptor's tail keeping it in balance in the first Jurassic Park movie. My friend was painting a crouching man for her art exam. She was shading the ass so much that she didn't even notice that the ass was in front of the guy's legs. It actually seems perfectly normal at first, but after someone pointed it out, you couldn't unsee it. Lol, an excited person with their arms up. Bed, a bed. Shark, a shark. Llama, a llama laying down. Fuck. And not just that normal dump, this is the up all night drinking, eating Taco Bell at 3 a.m., still half asleep, loud noises, painful, dump. That if you look hard enough at the Target logo, you can see a target. Megan Fox's toe thumbs. There's a scene in the Titanic where Jack and Rose are running from the asshole with a gun, can't remember his name, SKSJSJ, and in one of the shots where they run through a doorway you can see one of the set lights in the final cut through a glass window. You'll look for it each time. How pointless almost all the character arcs were in Game of Thrones. Resident Evil 6 logo equals giraffe blowjob. There's a moment Pulp Fiction's restaurant scene where John Travolta briefly touches his nose. The lighting thereafter makes it look like he permanently bent his nose out of shape for the rest of the scene. How much James Hetfield screams, yeah, in Metallica songs. A dually truck is just a truck with hips. The water bottle under Sam and Davos's chair. The fact that Kristen Stewart, girl from Twilight Saga, never closes her mouth. A person's earlobes are roughly aligned with their nipples. There, that's a thing you know now. I once listened to a podcast where they explained the sound from these high-budget nature documentaries is implied to be but not actually diegetic. As in, the sound isn't actually the sound that the animals etc. are making. That sound is added in post. All those rustling trees and vocalizations are recorded before or after or might even be from animals in captivity, and are put onto the scene. Part of this makes sense. You can't record sound with clarity underwater, and you couldn't hear anything in these long shots in real life. Once you know this, you will definitely notice. Are those animals vocalizing too often? Why is that tree making so much noise? How did they decide what sound this fish was going to make when it moves? You realize this is as much a constructed experience as any other film. When childhood shows have adult jokes when we didn't even notice.